Question number 12, Chris Hipkins.
Thank you very much, Mr Speaker. To the Minister of Education, does she stand by her statement that the government is fully funding the delivery of the school curriculum?
Honourable Hekia Parata.
Tēnā koe, Mr Speaker. Yes.
Mr Speaker.
Supplementary question, Chris Hipkins.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. If schools are sufficiently funded to deliver the curriculum, why was one secondary school forced to cancel a biology field trip, resulting in the teacher having to get special permission from NZQA to alter data collection requirements so the students wouldn't fail their NCEA because the school couldn't afford to deliver the learning the curriculum requires?
Supplementary, the Honourable Hekia Parata.
Mr Speaker, I'm surprised by that because funding for schools has gone up every year since we have been in government. Operational grants, which are fully at the discretion of the school, have been at or ahead of inflation. So I'd be a bit worried about the management by that school.
Supplementary question, Mr Speaker.
Order. Supplementary question, Chris Hipkins.
If it is indeed a matter of schools making choices, as the Minister seems to suggest, why do 54% of school principals, more than half, report they can't afford to comply with the guidelines that prevent them seeking parental contributions to the cost of their kids' education, with some openly admitting they simply ignore them altogether?
The Honourable Hekia Parata.
Mr Speaker, the member may have misread the news item because it was 54 principals, not 54%, and of those 54 principals, 22 said they had concerns about their spending.
Mr Speaker.
Supplementary question, Chris Hipkins.
Has she discussed the financial pressure schools are under with the Finance Minister, Bill English, who previously claimed that without parental contributions or parental funding, schools were screwed? His words, not mine. If so, why do the most recent figures available show that parental donations continue to increase by over $16 million a year?
Honourable Hekia Parata.
Mr Speaker, I have ongoing very robust discussions with the Minister of Finance, and they've resulted in a 1% operational grant funding being made available to schools this year, although inflation is predicted to be 0.1%. The member, again, I don't know where the member's getting his figures from, but the most recent I have says that there is a consistent contribution by parents of donations at making 1.8% of overall government grants. And those donations are for extracurricular activities.
Supplementary question.
Supplementary question, Chris Hipkins.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. Doesn't it say everything about the current government's priorities that this year's budget pumped a further $53 million into her broken NovaPay payroll system, while only $42 million was invested in school operations grants, the money that goes directly to kids' education, the lowest increase in school funding in over 20 years?
Oh, wow.
Honourable Hekia Parata.
Mr Speaker, again, the member might need to learn how to read the budget, because actually we don't just throw money at schools, we look at the operational funding against what the actual costs are, because schools get both operational funding and resourcing for the employment of teachers, and schools have never been more well funded than under this government at $10.8 billion.
That concludes questions for oral answer. Order. I have received a letter from Honourable Annette King seeking to... Order. Order. I've received a letter from the Honourable Annette King seeking to debate under Standing Order 389 the announcement of the special bonds pilots. This is a particular case of recent occurrence involving ministerial responsibility. The social bond was announced as part of the 2015-16 budget. The House is this week debating the budget, and the departmental estimates are currently before Select Committee for examination. The budget debate will provide the opportunity to discuss the social bond today, and the estimates examination will provide the opportunity to consider it in detail and to debate further